Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and this is the first part of this two-part video. I'm not sure when I'm going to, they'll be joined together, but I'm not sure when I'll actually make the second part. These young seedlings here are probably about 6 months old, and these are my Muntingia Calabura seedlings, Panama Berry, also known as a strawberry tree, and that's not Arbutus unado. This is the tropical strawberry tree, and it gets its name from the flowers that look like strawberry flowers. This is meant to be a yellow fruited Muntingia, but I don't know if they come true to type. Now I'm in a bit of a dilemma what to do with these, because we're now, as I film this part, sort of in the latter half of September, and I feel that it's going to be very difficult to overwinter these at this size, because they're going to be very prone to root rot and they're very crowded in this pot. So I feel that I need to, in the next week or so, take these out and try and divide them up into single plants, or at least very small clumps with 2 or 3 plants in. I mean, there's probably about it's probably 40 or 50 seedlings here, because the problem is the seeds are literally like particles of dust, so you can't sow the seeds individually. All you can really do is spread the flesh of the fruit over the surface of pots, which is what I've done, and you end up with a mass of seedlings coming up like this. That's probably what happens to them in the wild, but I would guess there, the survival of the fittest, they all die except probably the strongest one. But I don't want these all to die here, so what I'm thinking that I might do, and it remains to be seen, is in the next week or so, as I said, take them out of this pot and see if I can like prick them out and plant them up separately in smallish pots. I won't go too large on the pots because I don't want to have sour compost over winter. I think they'll need to be kept in our climate, even with the central heating, slightly dry in winter, and probably misted, because I think they like high humidity. But my plan is to try about 3 or 4 different compost mixes for them. I'm going to try perhaps cocoa coir on its own, my 511 citrus mix, probably a bog standard potting compost out of the bag, and I might even try 2 or 3 in pure sharp sand, which will give them obviously very good drainage, to see what the different mixes, what effect it has on them, which ones grow best or even survive would be nice. And I'll also try them in different places in the house. They obviously can't go outside anywhere because they're extremely tender. Anything below 10 centigrade, 50 Fahrenheit, they're likely to die. So they need to be somewhere reasonably mild in winter, but probably not too hot at this size. I don't think they're going to like our central heating, so I'll probably try them on 2 or 3 different windowsills in the house, in the hope that one area will keep a couple of the plants alive. And I'll obviously also grow them on in different mediums in those different places. So if I try 3 or 4 different potting mediums, I'll try 3 or 4 plants in different parts of the house to see if any of them suit them better than others. So I'm not even going to risk any in the shed, because, as I said, anything below 10 centigrade, 50 Fahrenheit, and they're likely to take serious damage, and it will certainly get down to freezing in my summer house because there's no heating in there. So that's the first part of the 2-part video, and obviously when I have repotted them, you'll see the second part, second half of the video, and you can carry on watching and see how I got on. Okay, so very quickly, welcome back to the second part of the video. We're now in the second week of October. It's taken me a bit longer to get round to than I intended to repot these Muntingia seedlings. So very quickly, I'm going to try 4 different mixes. I've got pure sand, believe it or not, sharp sand. I've got the black one is is a regular potting compost called Jack's Magic over here. These pots are pure Irish moss peat, and I've got 2 pots at the moment with the citrus 511 mix, which is basically 5 parts of orchid bark to 1 part of perlite to 1 part of peat. In this particular case, I could have used composters to 1 part. So I'm not going to film the actual potting up because it's gonna be fiddly to get these out, and also it'll take too long on the memory, which I haven't got much memory, and also I don't want to be interrupted while I'm potting them up because it's getting cold now, the weather, and they're very sensitive, so I need to be concentrating on potting them up rather than filming. But I will come back to the video when I've got most of them potted up to see how they're looking, so I'll pause it for now and then we can rejoin when I've got a bit further. Well, I've got to be honest, I'm not sure any of them will survive at all. I mean, they look okay here. I'm going to give them obviously a watering, but the roots, frankly, were like hairs, and in a lot of the seedlings looked as if they were rotting off. So I don't know if there's enough roots on any of them to survive, but I'll get them watered. I'm going to use some tepid water rather than cold water so we don't shock them too much. And I'll get them indoors and see if any of them pull through. Perhaps a couple of the larger ones will, that look a bit stronger. It was near impossible to separate them anymore. They were so tangled, the tiny ones, and so small to handle, just not practical really to repot them easily. But we'll give it a go and see if any survive, and if any survive the next 3 or 4 weeks, maybe there's a chance I can get a couple of them through the winter, and then next year they'll probably take off. So that was a repot of my tiny Muntingia Calabura seedlings. That's a strawberry tree or Panama Berry tree, and this is supposed to be a golden berried one. Don't know if we'll ever find out, but we'll do our best. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, of course. You can share it if you think anybody might be at all interested. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, especially if these sort of rare tropicals interest you, and click on the bell if you'd like to be updated when new videos come out. I'll see you all soon. Brett out for now.